Well, hello everybody, it's Saturday, and as I promised, I'm going to make the pumpernickel bread. Been a heck of a day. The chemo's kicking the crap out of me today. I stepped outside for a bit, and it was like stepping into an inferno. My face felt on fire, my hands, my feet, and that's because it's winter. But it is what it is, and I gotta do what I gotta do so I can get better. Anyway, let's move on to making some bread. For our pumpernickel chocolate bread here, we have 1 cup of dark rye flour, 1/4 cup of whole wheat, 2 cups of unbleached all-purpose flour. We have 1.5 tablespoons of dark Ghirardelli cocoa. We have 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, 2.5 teaspoons of yeast, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, and 2.5 teaspoons of regular sugar. Now what we're going to do to start this, we're going to put 1 cup of the white flour in our mixing bowl. We're going to add to that the whole wheat, and we will add the onion powder and the salt and the dark cocoa. Now we'll give that a quick turn with the paddle attachment just to get it mixed up. And that's pretty good. That'll work. Okay, next I'm going to put together our wet ingredients, and so I will take a short break, get those set together so you can see the measurements, and we'll combine them and then move on. Be back in a minute. Okay, we're back here, and okay, we're checking that we're on. Yep, we're recording. Okay, what I've done is I made a cup of espresso earlier, and I've heated it up to about 130 degrees. To that I added 3 tablespoons of Brer Rabbit molasses full flavor, and in this bowl we have 1/3 cup of 130 degree water with the tablespoon of brown sugar and the 2.5 teaspoons of regular sugar and the yeast. And as you can see, it's nicely blossomed, it's all foamy, and that's exactly what we want it to be. So now we'll add it to our dry ingredients. Oh yeah. And that's how you know your yeast is good. You get a nice foam within just a few minutes. It starts to absorb that sugar and blossom. It's a beautiful thing. Now we'll add the molasses and the espresso coffee. That helps give us our rich dark color and a wonderful flavor. Now we'll lock the KitchenAid. By the way, this is an original Hobart KitchenAid. It's over 28 years old. I've had it that long that I will never give it up. Okay, now that we have that mixing, what we're going to do is start to incorporate our flours. And this is the whole dark rye. And that's 1 cup of dark rye. And we'll let that mix up for a moment. Okay, now we're going to start to add the last cup of the unbleached white all-purpose flour. Notice how I don't dump it in all at one time. I want to kind of let it incorporate, and it's going to create a ball. And And if you dump it in too fast, what will happen is the paddle attachment will actually throw the flour all over the place, and that can be quite a mess. Okay, we blended it enough to where it's time to switch our attachments. So we're going to lose the paddle attachment and put in our dough hook. Okay, looks like we got just about all of that dough off of there. Nice and sticky. Off with the paddle, on with the dough hook. Okay. Now I'm going to put that to speed 3 and we're going to let that run about 7 minutes. So I'll be back in about 7 minutes. See you then.
The gun was fine.
You know where he wasn't? In the lecture hall. A lot of people left me straight after we did.
Okay, I'm back. Let me put the TV on mute here. There we go. And it's been 7 minutes. Our ball is looking good. Yep, just the way it should be. Okay, look at that. Just a little tacky to the touch, but it doesn't stick to your fingers. I cleaned my counter while we were letting the mixing process happen. Sanitized it, dried it. Now I roll my beautiful pumpernickel into a bowl. I'm going to grab a bowl. And we're going to let this rise for about an hour. Okay, I'm going to put a little olive oil in the bowl and then we'll coat it. And there we go. Okay, we're going to let that double in size and we'll cover it with just a kitchen towel, and I'll put that in a warm space and come back to you in an hour. See you then. Okay, it's been an hour and we'll take the cover off. Yep, about twice the size it was when it started. So we're going to punch it down. I'm going to grab a peel here and I'll dust it with a little bit of, I probably don't even need to dust it, but I'm just going to take a peel here and we're going to shape this, punch it down and shape it. Into a nice little ball. Oh yeah, that looks good. Again, I've washed my hands, cleaned the counter, done the dishes, and everything's good to go. Beautiful. Okay, so that's going to be our dark pumpernickel chocolate rye bread. Now what I'm going to add is I'm going to basically lift this ball And I'm gonna dust the peel with cornmeal, because in the oven I have two pizza stones, one on my top rack, one on my bottom, one I constantly leave in there, and I just want to be able to slide this around so that when she's done rising, which is going to take about another 35 to 45 minutes, I can slide this right into the preheated oven. And the oven I'm going to preheat at 400 degrees. So I'm just going to cover this like that. And we'll be back in about 30 to 45 minutes. And then we'll put her in the oven at 400 degrees to bake. And we will have a delicious bread. See you soon. Bye-bye. Okay. What I'm showing you here is I punched down the bread and I've formed it into a ball. I've placed it on a pizza peel that's covered in cornmeal, and the reason I've done this is so that I can slide it directly onto a cornmeal covered pizza stone that I have in the oven. I'm preheating the oven to 400 degrees, and this will take about 35 to 45 minutes to rise. I'll put a couple of slits on it and then we'll bake it, and we'll take it from there. And just to let you know, it's snowing again. It's cold as hell outside and the weather is lousy. Love you all. I'll talk to you in a little while. Bye bye. Okay, we've let it rise for about 40 minutes. Gonna unveil it. Oh, there we go. Beautiful. Alright, it's on the cornstarch, so it's sliding. Now I'm just going to move it to the oven. I'm not going to score it because it's got a nice firm texture to it, and I just want to bake it up beautifully. So I've preheated my oven. It's now on the pizza stone. Oven is closed, and we'll let it go for about 25 to 30 minutes. And I'll bring it out and show you the finished product when it's done. See you soon. Well, here it is, out of the oven, the finished product. Got a 1.5 pound loaf. You tap it, it sounds hollow. I'm not going to cut it open yet because that'll collapse the soft interior. It's got to sit at least for 35-40 minutes before I slice it. But I just want to say, you know, if you follow the recipe, there's a few things that you have to do. On the 5 to 7 minutes in the mixer, don't add anything. Let the mixer do its job. It may not look right, but by the time it's finished, it will be right. You'll have the perfect ball of dough to let rise. Also, depending upon conditions, you may have to let the second rise go from 45 to maybe an hour, just so that you double the size and that you get the right consistency. Elevation, humidity, temperature all play a part in making bread. Tomorrow I'm going to make a French loaf for you, real quick and easy, and then I'll follow it with my garlic Alfredo recipe as promised. I love all of you. The chemo's really kicked my butt today, so I'm pretty tired. I might have a slice of bread for dinner, but I'm going to hit the sack. Anyway, love you all. You take care. Bye-bye.